Welcome back to Sports. Mark Talley here with you in the skybox at Bronson Arena. You know, when you hang out with a VIP like Mike Kretz, they always have to give you the primo accommodations. Mike, we're here for the Super Regional in men's wrestling, CMU hosting, and a lot to look forward to today.
Oh, yeah, a lot to look forward to. A lot's already happened, obviously. The regionals are always really important, but when you talk about a year like we've had with COVID, less qualifiers this year, it becomes that much more important. And then when you think about the fact that this is the first real tournament that we've had all season long, you know, we're at the end of wrestling, and here we are getting our first tournament action. But it's been a lot of fun and a lot to look forward to for sure.
And, you know, an unfortunate situation for Adams State not being able to host today, but CMU's taking advantage, and, you know, we're having a great time today.
Yeah, you know, you'll never get a complaint out of the sports department here when we get to host wrestling tournaments. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Let's take a look at some of the things that happened earlier today. Here's the highlights from the first two rounds.
Yeah, Mark, let's start off the highlights with Cullen Metzger in at 133. It's in an awkward position here, makes the best of it, pulls that leg away. The opponent goes down to the mat. Metzger just jumps right on top of him for the takedown. He goes on to win 9-1.
At 149, Ryan Wheeler in some trouble. Noah Hiramoso locks in the cradle, jumps over the top, gets a turn, and the pin.
At 157, Nick Gallegos down one late in the match, needs to get a takedown. He gets it here, but Carter Nort quickly reverses the action, starts collecting back points. That's going to secure his 13-8 victory.
Up to 174 after a takedown, Seth Latham working the head, sees the foot, pulls it toward his opponent's head. Mike, that could not feel good.
Yeah, you're right. In his day, it's only going to get longer after Latham gets chest to chest and picks up the pin.
All right, how about Nolan Crone at 184 taking on Cody Lewis. Crone on top, shoots the half, but it looked a little loose. Coach Pfeiffer yelled, punch the mat. He does, gets over, and advances with the pin.
At the heavyweight division, CMU's Gabe Carranza versus Adams State Nathan Ellis. Carranza wires up those arms, gets Ellis on his back, and gets into the winner's bracket with a pin.
Let's start the second round with Kane Apple trying to stay alive in the tournament, going up against Darian Palacio. Apple goes to the half. He's going to work back points from there, but he gets even more than that when the arm comes away, and he gets the pin.
All right, the number one seed at 141, CMU's Daniel Magana got into the action against Wesley Rayburn, and it's a thriller. Magana needs a point with less than just 10 seconds left, gets the escape, and we go to overtime. First takedown, obviously going to win it. Magana shoots the double leg, takes it to single, fights for control. Eventually, he'll get it and advance into the third round.
Another one seed for the Mavericks, Fred Green at 165, just bullies Adams. Aiden Valdez to the mat. Is going to come away with some back points here, too, part of a 9-0 major.
All right, the final highlight, it's at 174. Seth Latham for CMU taking on Elijah Valdez. Is standing up with that single leg, just spins around for a second, then just jams his shoulders in for two. Later starting the period on bottom. How is his for an explosive escape? He'd go on to win it 5-1.
So as you can tell, a lot of exciting action happening so far. Behind us, as you can see, these are the consolation matches to get to the second and third place finishers. But Mike, 4 CMU wrestlers making it to the finals tonight.
Yeah, and you want to talk about making a splash. We got to talk about Daniel Magana, the freshman, in his first college tournament ever, making a splash. He's in the finals, so that's going to be huge for him. Fred Green, Donald Negus, you didn't get to see him in the highlights, but he's going to be in the finals. We'll definitely be bringing that to you. And then a little bit of Nolan Crone, kind of sad, 1 point shy of making it into the finals, but be looking for him to do some big things here coming up in these next rounds.
And, you know, as you can tell, we have the mask on. The NCAA has been really vigilant about the health and safety of the competitors and the fans, but we do have some fans in here. Mike, it's so nice to see fans in here in Bronson, in the atmosphere to get this atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we came in the wrong way. We came in with the fans and we went upstairs, and it was a party atmosphere up there for sure. And man, it's just happy to be kind of seeing some kind of normalcy kind of coming around the corner for sure.
All right, Mike, I'm going to put you on the spot. How many of the 4 are going to get titles today?
Ooh, let's go 4 all the way.
4 for 4. You heard it from Mike Kretz. The final start at 6 p.m. We're going to have a full wrap for you coming up at 10 o'clock. Stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for more news coming up right after this. This is Mike Kretz, Mark Talley at Bronson Arena. We'll be right back with more news. Welcome back to Sports. Mark Talley alongside Mike Kretz, again, from the Skybox, courtesy of Mike Kretz's status on the Western Slope in the wrestling community.
Bronson Arena. What are you talking about?
We are at Bronson Arena. We're wrapping up the Super Regionals for the NCAA men's wrestling competition right here in Grand Junction. And Mike, Big day of wrestling today.
Oh, yeah. Any wrestling fan's going to love a day like this. We started at noon, and we are going, it's a little bit later in the night. It's been a nice, long day of wrestling and a lot of good action.
Speaking of action, CMU had 4 wrestlers make it to the finals. And, Mike, we're going to have a couple champions come out of this.
Yeah, we will. We will. I'm not going to spoil it just yet, but let's get to these highlights and you can see for yourself. All right, first up for the Mavericks at 141, down in the white singlet, trimmed in maroon, was Daniel Magana taking on Nick James. End of the first period. James trying to pick up 2. Magana holding on for dear life. The whistle's going to blow, and the official, he gives James the takedown. Second period, Magana to first. James chooses bottom and quickly escapes. Then look at the speed of the shot right here. Lanches onto that right leg, and it has a base to work from, eventually leading to a takedown on the far side. Just seconds left. Last chance for Magana. Shoots, but the whistle blows, and James gets the win.
Next, we jump to 165. Fred Green taking on Matt Malcolm. Malcolm starts it off with a takedown. Later, Green, strong from the bottom, slips the head out and gets the reversal. Green chooses bottom to start the third, tries to stand up, nothing doing, but then secures Malcolm's leg and rolls. Green gets his hips on top and gets 2 on the reversal and goes up 4-3. Just seconds left in the match. Green takes a little peek at the clock and knows he's the regional champion.
Then we go to 174, Seth Latham versus Terrell Garraw. Garraw working from bottom, gets wrist control and an escape. And not to be outdone, Latham gets to his feet and gets on the board with an escape of his own. And here's the match, really. Latham shoots, Garraw slips behind and gets the takedown. He goes on to win it 3-1.
Donnie Negus at 197 versus Joseph Reimers. Negus has a hold of that head, takes the leg with him down to the mat before going out and picks up 2. Later, Negus showing off the power at the end of a long day, puts Reimers on his seat and gets 2 more on the perimeter. Negus, your winner, 5-3. Now, here's Mike Kretz with CMU's 2 regional champions.
All right, thank you, Mark. We're here with the champions, Donnie Negus, Fred Green. Guys, congratulations on a pretty great tournament. How did it feel to be at a tournament? All season long we've had no tournaments. This is the very first tournament that we've had. How does it feel to be, so late in the season and having your first tournament here at regionals?
Tired.
Yeah, tired. It doesn't feel really too different than the duels, especially for us. We both had buys first round, so we only had 2 matches. Okay. But, we started off the season with a double duel, or a tri-duel, I guess. Yeah. So, it's just about like that, but it's nice.
Yeah,
it's
once
nice.
You step on the mat, you don't really feel the notches in your belt. You're ready to go. Feet are flying, ready to hit the ground running. So, yeah, the day can wear on you, and it does between matches, but once you're out there, it's all the same.
At the 5 o'clock hour, we talked a little bit about it being obviously the COVID year with not knowing exactly how many wrestlers are going to be going to nationals and everything else. Does that put a little bit more stress on this tournament in particular?
I think for some people, it definitely did. Some guys, it definitely did. For me, not really. I'm just out here just having fun wrestling. Whatever happens, happens, and I just happen to come out on the good side of it, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's what you make it, really. You can let it detain you, or you can let it free you. So, gratitude's really the theme of the year, and, out here having fun.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, especially with having the crowds in here and everything else, too. Yeah. Let's talk about nationals. You guys both qualified for nationals last season, and we all know what happened to nationals. In case you don't, it was shut down while you guys were out on the mats.
Yep.
What does it mean to be going back to nationals, and what does it mean to be doing it in 2021?
I don't think it's anything different than it would have been last year. I think it's just I'm out here representing my school, doing the thing that I love, and I'm just out here to have fun. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah.
It's fun. Like you said, this is one of my favorite things to do in life altogether. Mm-hmm. So to have the ability to do it one last time, hey, there's nothing greater.
Well, thank you guys so much. Fred Green, Donnie Negus, congratulations, guys. Good work. You're 2021 regional champs.
And hey, thanks to the power of television, Mark Talley back here with you. We want to thank Fred Green and Donnie Negus for joining us post-tournament there. Mike, one thought to wrap up the day.
One final thought. Obviously, great wrestling. If you're Coach Pfeiffer, you've got to be really happy with the young guns. Daniel Magana, another freshman, looked pretty good. Magana making it to a final in his first ever college tournament. That's really, really impressive. And then, of course, Fred Green, Donnie Negus doing their things, back at it again. Happy to see them back there and can't wait to see what they can do at nationals.
You're right. Experience matters. Like you said in the interview, denied the opportunity to get a championship last year. I think they're going to be doubly motivated in 2 weeks in St. Louis. Always motivated to bring you the best wrestling coverage on the Western Slope. Mike Kretz, Mark Talley. That's all the time we have for sports. Stay tuned. We've got more news coming up right after this.